3 here. Very important game for both players to secure that first point for their team. Chinese Mirror, what are we expecting here? Are we just going to see a super passive booming game, or are we going to see something very different here and see some feudal age aggression potentially? What are your thoughts about this civilization matchup?
I think both players will try to use the best as best as possible the bonuses of the Chinese, and that leads me to believe that they will go for the hands, and then they will make a lot of sprinkles.
Now, looking at the map here, we have a sort of unique generation, not something that we have seen today yet. Every single time we play this map today, it was exactly one crossing. But Mountain Pass can spawn with multiple crossings, and it does so in this one. There is 1, 2, and 3 crossings out here, one very wide on the north, and 2 smaller ones in the middle. The one in the center is particularly interesting because it also has a stealth forest on it, so this is the perfect place for an ambush here from either side. Looking at the maps of the players, we do have one small gold. It's very much on the front for Beasty, and he's got one small gold at the back. Bears are rather safe, and he's already supervising that mill that he's getting sheep next to. Same approach here by Capoch, but he delayed his Imperial Officer over here. He just now popped it out. So
Something we don't notice so often is the relics. Look at how many relics are at the same spot. 4 relics in the same screen.
indeed, that's pretty massive. So it's very easy to secure a ton of relics for either player that gets control over this area. And for these 3 are all on the side of Capoch over here. On the other hand, am I right seeing that... Okay, there is a market, never mind. I was scared for a moment that we don't have a market again, but that's not the case out here. So, question to you. We are seeing this Chinese build being the meta now, going for the mill early on, supervising it. But when do you pop that Imperial Officer? Do you go for it immediately? After 1 villager, 2 villagers? What's your approach on that?
I think the best approach is to get it as fast as possible. So I would say you either click it instantly or after 1 or 2 villagers. I don't think you should delay it. Because as soon as if you have 5 villagers gathering from a resource and you have an imperial, an official, then suddenly you're getting the resources of an extra villager. So it won't hurt your economy.
Now, we have a sort of unique approach here from Beastie because not only is he going for a single officer, he's going for a second one to supervise the lumber camp. It will pay off quite early on, and the thing I like about that is that your tax gold income at the beginning is slightly better compared to Capoch's one, who doesn't have a supervised lumber camp. So, we will see if this actually pays off for Beastie, but it almost guarantees him that he doesn't have to mine gold to age up to feudal age.
Yep, and the faster you start gathering the gold, the taxes, the less gold you need to gather from the gold vein. So you should get a better age up.
So, this map actually scares me with this civilization matchup because we talked about how good these civilizations are late game. They do have the long range cannons, they do have very good economy as well. And this is one of those stalemate maps. Even with 3 crossings, if we end up with a lot of woes here, this game could be 5 hours long because no one will be able to push the other. As Capoch is aging up with the Imperial Academy, not even the Barbican of the Sun. So he knows exactly that he's not going to be pushed and he's just going to boom here using the Academy first.
Exactly, and I think like meta-wise, going for the Imperial Academy is the better option because most of the times you're going for the Barbican of the Sun in order to prevent any type of aggressions. But if the meta is to just make scouts and get the hands, then why would you go for a Barricade of the Sun? It's pointless because there's no aggression coming. So by going for the Imperial Academy, you actually get more taxes on your production buildings, and you can also get the upgrade that gives the ability to your officials to gather 40 gold per trip instead of 20.
So Barbican of the Sun coming in here for Beastie, whereas on the other side, Capoch decided to go with the Academy. It's also very nice placement because it covers the mill, the lumber camp, and the gold mine, so all notable drop-off buildings will be affected by this tax bonus that the Imperial Academy provides, and he's going up for a stable, so he will get probably a couple of scouts in, and we're just going to see deer being ferried in. Indeed, there's professional scouts on the way for Capoch.
And we already have a big difference in their builds. Beasty went for stone, and he's not going for professional scouts.
Ooh, interesting. Can you imagine stone walls here? He's already walling up north with palisades, so it's possible stone walls are an idea. Second TC could also be a concept, of course, but if you go for second TC, you probably want to play Song Dynasty. Now, Beasty is keeping villagers on gold, or, well, he's just now moving out to make the mining camp, but he's going to have villas on gold, so if he's gathering gold and he's this heavy on wood and stone, I'm suspecting Song Dynasty 2 TC boom here.
Yeah, me too. And also the wall that Beasty decided to make in the top actually prevents Capoch from getting that hunt. Because the only way to go towards that hunt is through the barricade of the sun. And I don't think Capoch will decide to walk with his scouts next to it.
And it looks like the walls in the middle might be finished as well, although the scout is going to harass Beasty's villager. Beasty could be in trouble here if there's a horseman coming out, because against one scout he's fine building these walls. Against a horseman, that's no longer the case. And on the left side, he's getting those walls up. Let's see if there are any horsemen coming out, and yeah, indeed, there is the horseman on the way. This could be risky for Beasty. He might not finish those walls on time.
I think he won't. And it's mainly because of the fact that Capoch wants to steal his opponent's hunts. So he will scout it. And he will most likely stop it, I think.
Yeah, here come these scouts. You gotta body block that wall foundation. Villager is getting close to finishing it. This is so crucial. Scouts still moving in. A couple hits on that wall might be enough to buy some time for Beasty, but he's unable to get it. Oh, is he? He's getting it just before the horsemen arrive. Final second wall here. That's a clutch move from Beasty there.
This is so crucial because he blocked the scouts as well. So his opponent, like, Capoch cannot get hunts now because all of his scouts are on the other side of the map.
Now, the scouts and the horsemen can still burn their way through, so this is just a temporary solution for Beasty, but it buys time for him, and that's the most important thing. That he is given time. Did you see that? Capoch just yoinked one huntable right next to Beasty's DC. He was like, that's mine.
Yep. And the sheep are running out, so Capoch will go on his berries now. And there's a market and a barrack for Capoch.
Archer range for Beasty coming in here. Normally, I would say it's a bit of a suicidal thought to start making archers when your opponent already has a stable and you know it. But the Jugenu seem to be very powerful after the buff, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them being added here in Song Dynasty. Let's see if that's the plan, and indeed, here they come. The Jugenu coming in. The walls will be broken through, so Capoch will be able to take the hunt, but as you said, he won't be able to steal the hunt from the other side, so I feel like Beasty minimized the damage that he took from this.
Yes, and at the same time, from what I'm seeing regarding Capoch, he's adapting his playstyle. He made the market in order to get a faster age up timing, and at the same time he made a forward barrack, because I think he's gonna go all in on this. I think he's going all in with palace guards and springles and possibly rams.
It makes some sense because he understands that his opponent is in Song Dynasty. He has been on 1 TC for some time, whereas Beasty was on 2. So you sort of have to make a push here because you will never catch up in economy in a mirror matchup. So you gotta make a push here. And Palace Guards are actually very, very good for that. With the forward barracks already out, he is almost up to Castle Age with the Clock Tower. And as you said, Palace Guards are on the way. What is Beastly's win condition here now?
Not Zugnu though. Definitely not Zugnu. He needs to get into the Castle Age as well. And in order to do that, he must not gather wood. He must have every single villager that he has on food in order to get the age up time and then start pumping out those palace guards. But there's gonna be some issues. His food is unprotected. He didn't go for professional scouts, so his food transition will be super slow. So I don't see him aging up into the castle age anytime soon.
He's got
And if
half
he,
the resources, but as you said, the food is a little exposed, so that's a problem. Although Capoch is not pushing him very actively, so if Capoch gives him time, he's gonna get close to Castle Age.
yeah, the problem with Capoch is he's not empowering the barrack, which is really important, and he should be making lancers and palace guards.
Looks like it is only Palace Guards from one barracks. Of course, that barracks pops out the Palace Guards rather fast, but still, every second that Capoch is losing is more villager advantage for Beasty. Currently at 41 villagers is our red player, 37 for Capoch, so not a massive deficit right now, but Beasty's on the way to Castle Age as well, so he can defend with Springolds.
Yep, and from the way I see it, Beastie needs to put half of his villagers on wood and gold, maybe even like 60 to 70% of his villagers on wood and gold, and just keep making sprinkles and just stay behind, just stay on top of his town center, and he should be able to defend against this.
Castle Age is in for Beastie over here. Now he can start adding crossbowmen to deal with the palace guards, but the main weapon, of course, is going to be the Springald. Probably supervise that astronomical clock tower into Springald defense. As you said, he still has to make a transition to food, but luckily for him, he's got a very safe patch of huntables at the back that Beastie cannot, or Capoch cannot raid.
Yeah, the problem is the walking distance. Like, if Capoch didn't take so much time to put pressure and forced Beastie out away from that food, then Beastie would need to travel on the other side of the map and then make a granary meal and start gathering resources while he was being pressured in the front. And that would hurt him a lot.
Looks like veteran Jugenu is coming in here. Looks like Beastie believes in the Jugenu. Not sure what to think about that. Palace Guards are meant to counter light archer units, and there's already a battering ram coming in. Capoch will try to push that TC on the left side. That's very much under-defended.
The main problem is that Capoch is not making supervisors, and he's not really using them. He has only 2 supervisors, and he just brought the extra supervisor to empower a barrack in the front.
And if you look at his resource buildings, he's floating 700 tax gold on that mill, 400 tax gold on that mining camp. So there's a lot of gold that's being floated in here. Here comes the push though from Capoch. Jugenu, let's see what they can do against the men-at-arms, or the palace guards to be precise.
1 damage per shot. They do 0 damage.
Barely anything. Barely anything. Crossbows are needed here for Beastie, as his Imperial officers are going to be caught in the line of fire, so he's going to lose all that production advantage. Beastie getting his army annihilated here. He's down to 12 military, and soon that TC is going down. Villagers are being pulled a little too late. It's a slaughter. This is an absolute slaughter.
Town center went down. Palace guards are parading inside of Beastie's base, and villagers are running to take down the ram. But I don't think it will be enough. So much damage is being done.
And now you can clean up those villagers, so all that Song Dynasty 2000 advantage will be gone with those villagers getting killed. Everywhere I look, there is dead bodies. Beastie is down to 50 villagers, and Capoch is at 45. Capoch, very nice timing push over here, and he's getting close, very close to winning this one, and that would secure 1 point for the Americas.
Yeah, Beastie has no food. This is the food transition I was talking about. He's under pressure, and he needs to take villagers from his base and go to a corner and start gathering food. You don't want to do that while you're being pressured. And he has literally 0 food income right now, so he cannot produce anything.
Indeed, Imperial officer is going down here, and you see that Capoch even pulled a repair villager out here, as Beastie taps out after that victory on King of the Hill with the Delhi. Capoch strikes back on Beastie and plays a 1TC semi-fast castle into a very nice timing push with the palace guards and sweeps away Beastie's Chinese here. He is the one to win this best of 3, and he is the one to secure a point for his team.
very well adapt reaction to Capoch. As soon as he saw the walls, he realized that something is happening. He didn't scout a lot of scouts from Beasty's side, so he knew that professional scouts were not being made. So he's being greedy. And when someone is greedy and you know it before he even becomes greedy, you can definitely punish it.